Okay, so day one, we're going to work on this bottom up exhale, learning how to exhale from right down, starting at the pelvic floor through those deep abs, and then like a wave coming through to the rib cage. So we're not exhaling from here and pushing all this pressure down. So I just want to show you from the side what this looks like. If I'm exhaling right here and pulling on those, pulling on the upper abs or gripping the upper abs, it's going to look like this. See, all this pressure pushes down. So what we want to be able to get is this inhale, expanding into the rib cage, into the belly, into the pelvic floor. And then on the exhale, starting from the pelvic floor and between the hip bones, everything coming back like a wave coming through, and then at the end the rib cage is coming back, but we're trying not to have this happen. Okay, so we're starting on the floor. We've got the rib cage nice and heavy. The bra strap is on the floor. The hips are heavy on the floor. And you might also want to take a block and put that between your knees. So all I'm going to do is think about this inhale expanding into all areas of my body. So my torso is like a canister or like a balloon, and everything expands together as I inhale. Rib cage, especially into the sides and the back. Bit into the belly, letting some pressure go down into the pelvic floor. And then on the exhale, little squeeze of the block. All the air coming out from the bottom up. So inhale into the sides of the rib cage, into the belly, into the pelvic floor, making sure I'm not clenching my shoulders or my neck. Exhale, little squeeze of the block, little pelvic floor lift. And I'm going to make sure that these upper abs here are not doing the work to pull and send pressure back down into my pelvic floor. So it can be really helpful to keep one hand on your low abs, one hand on your rib cage right here where the upper abs are. Inhale. Exhale, starting from that little pelvic floor lift. From the bottom up. This is all coming away from my hand, and then like a wave coming through, rib cage gently melting down to the floor. And so I'm really not having this happen. So let's just do two more together. Inhale under my hand, into the sides of the rib cage. And then exhale from the bottom up, a little pelvic floor contraction. Gathering in between my hip bones and up. Rib cage gently melting down to the floor at the end of the exhale. And so if you can get all the air out, you'll really feel those deep abs come on. We're really focusing on incorporating the pelvic floor into the exhale rather than just doing a lift and a let go. We're learning to exhale, have the pelvic floor become part of the inhale and exhale. And when you inhale, that's where you're letting go and expanding. So if you're doing this and you cannot get your breath in and you're feeling very tense, you may want to break this up into 3 inhales rather than one big inhale. So you would go inhale, little pause, inhale, pause, and then one last inhale, keeping everything relaxed, and then holding your inhale just for maybe 5 seconds until you feel like you need to exhale, and then just letting it go. And you might notice if you do that you can actually feel this like bottom up exhale a little bit easier because it's just naturally happening. Everything's getting pushed out without having to clench down here.